So, Dr. Garden, I was watching Charlie Wilson's War, and the congressman had a press secretary. What is a press secretary?
Well, let's take a look at that clip you're talking about.
Yeah. Hey, that's a nice sweater.
Oh, thank you. The Washington Times wants to know if you've ever been in rehab.
Well, what are you going to tell them?
That you won't go to rehab because they don't serve whiskey there.
Well, that's why you're the press secretary, boo-boo.
I've got Stu on the line. Can you jump on?
Boo-boo, no self-respecting press secretary would allow herself to be called boo-boo. But the clip got some things right. A press secretary is a person who works for a politician and acts as a liaison between that politician and the media. Wikipedia defines it as someone who's an advisor and provides advice on news media and uses news management techniques to help the politician maintain a healthy reputation. The president always has a press secretary. Currently, the president's press secretary is Dana Perino. Before Dana Perino, it was Tony Snow, who retired due to health problems, and before that, Scott McClellan, who had a really hard job seeing he had to speak for the president in the wake of Hurricane Katrina, the wake of the Libby Scooter indictment, and in the wake of Dick Cheney's shooting accident. Press secretaries often have experience as journalists themselves, as is the case with the three White House press secretaries just mentioned. But that doesn't stop journalists from asking really tough questions from press secretaries. Let's take a look at Tony Snow on his first day on the job. He has an interaction with famous White House journalist Helen Thomas.
Both houses of Congress to roll up their sleeves and get working to try to get something done.
The President today denied he'd ever broken the law in terms of wiretaps. He also indicated that anything that was looked into, any calls, had some sort of foreign aspect, either to or from. And he says he's always obeyed the law. Are all of these stories untrue that we've been reading for the last several days? Millions of Americans have been wiretapped? Turned over to the government.
Okay, let's try to segregate.
So press secretaries are often in the hot seat. This is a photo of several past White House press secretaries. The gentleman in the wheelchair is James Brady. He was permanently disabled during an assassination attempt on Reagan. He's a champion of gun control now and the inspiration of the Brady Bill. Another former White House press secretary to know about is Marlin Fitzwater, a graduate of K-State in 1965 in journalism. He's from Salina, Kansas, and he sort of noted that he served a long time as the White House press secretary under both Reagan and George H.W. Bush. So today I hope you've learned a few things about what a press secretary is. A press secretary is a liaison between a politician and the public. They use the media and press conference, and they may serve as an advisory role, but their duty is to translate the official's policy to the public. A deputy secretary or an assistant secretary may be titles of subordinates to the press secretary. Often, press secretaries are former journalists, but sometimes it's hard for them to work with journalists when they ask hard questions. So being a press secretary has a lot more to do with being a savvy communicator than having a nice sweater and being able to turn a funny phrase. So I hope that answers the question, what is a press secretary?